guys. How are you all? Thank you guys for being here. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Bet. Hey, Jamie. I've missed you too. Hey, Nature Rocks and Needs. Good to see you guys. Hey, Tracy. Hello, Angela. Michelle. Nicole B. I hope you feel better. Hey, Bendy. Get some good rest and hopefully you'll feel better tomorrow, Nicole. Hey, Kimberly. Hey, everyone. Marie, Allie B, Willow. Okay, so I've been busy all day. I just got back from the fall festival. See, I still got the ghost shirt on. And I saw the news about this. I'd seen a couple community posts. Dietz was one of them. Dietz is a friend of mine. I'll drop her link if you guys aren't familiar. And I wanted to get the information. So I did. I wanted to know the facts, and we're going to go through it tonight. It looks like the Suzanne Morphew trial is not going to be streamed at all. It's kind of interesting. We're going to go through it. I had to screenshot this article because I grabbed it in the car on the way home from the festival, and I was going through it, and I had to pay $1 to read it. It was like apparently it's like $20 a month, but they have a special right now, $1 for a year. And I wanted to get this particular article. So we're going to go through it. And I have a video. If we don't have time to get to it, it's in the description of Scott Reich. So, all right. Let me know if you know JLR. I'm not doing the damn put a one in the chat or anything, but yeah, just say yes or no. Are you aware of who JLR is, and do you follow his channel? It is crazy. It sucks, Jamie, because some of us have followed Suzanne's case for years. There were points when I wondered, will she be found? Like we do with so many other people. Hey, hoodies, will she be found? You know, Suzanne. If she is found, will anyone ever pay for what happened? Because Barry was charged once before. They let him go. They dropped his case. He had a lawsuit against the county, and then he was charged again once Suzanne was found. So it's been a whole damn thing. And it sucks. Now we won't get to, think of the Lori Vallow trial. If you followed that, you had to wait till court was over, listen to audio. I don't even know if we'll get that. So let's see. I saw a lot of yeses. Let me scroll up just a little bit. Yes, yes, yes. I do know who he is. I don't follow his channel. He is, Sarah. That's correct. Dietz has a long video where she goes through his history, but lately, so I first became familiar with JLR in the Gabby Petito case. He did an interview on J is for Justice, and he was down in where the Laundries lived. I wasn't familiar with anything about him at that point. Then, he had teamed up with Molly and Betty. He was already like with Betty. They were protesting, and he didn't really have a following. I don't think he even had 5,000. Then we watched that the Gabby Petito and them outside of the Laundries turn into just a crazy situation. And then if you thought it couldn't get worse, which I think many of us at the time, which is crazy now looking back, never would have dreamed that Quentin Simon and what happened outside of that home and the protesting and everything. I mean, laws were changed in Florida where they were protesting. They literally changed laws about protesting in residential areas because of this. So apparently he's at the center of this. We'll read through it together and I'll see what you guys think. Aware of him, don't follow. He has now kind of broken away from those people and put his head down and really buckled down and just put out constant content, no drama, right? I think he has a girlfriend who works with him. I don't watch him much. Occasionally, though, if there's some kind of like breaking update there, I will check in. However, I haven't forgotten, the past. This is just my view of how things progressed. So he started doing, storm chasing and going to this case and going to that case, school shooting, going to the border and live streaming at the border during the border crisis that was happening. And he grew a huge following. He sits now almost at 500,000 followers. So summer as well. Oh my God. What happened down in Tennessee? I have a couple of videos I made on that. It was horrific. if you would see them standing outside, the things they were screaming about that baby, like about Summer and her being missing at her parents at their work. It was terrible. It's been a lot, but lately it's been very quiet. So that's where we're at. He inserted himself in cases here, and it wasn't good. Yes, Magnolia is his girlfriend. Okay, so let's take a look at this article. This is from the Denver Post. Lawbreaking YouTubers prompt judge to shut down live streaming in Barry Morphew case. Now, this article I noticed because Scott Reich goes through the court documents, but the article really touches on like a lot of word for word what's in there. So if we don't have time to watch his video, we're still going to get the information, and it's linked in the description. This is a picture of him when he was first rearrested, and it appeared that he was kind of smiling at his girls. There is two, he has two daughters that are also wrapped up in the center of this. I'll never forget Suzanne Morphew, her family searching for her dad before he passed away, her brother, who has been really vocal, speaking out now about everything. It's been a long journey, and we're finally at the point. And some of us just want to watch the trials. We want the information, the facts, and that's where you get it. Because in the initial reports from the news, you don't get the facts. They mess up a lot. They do. In the police reports, you'll get the facts, but it isn't until the trial when you really get to know what's going on in a case. That's the most important time. When a case is breaking and all those things are happening, anything could happen. And it's just, for me, the trial is like what it's all about. This is, and then after that, after all the facts are shown, this person goes to prison for life, which is what they deserve, right? So it's just upsetting, but let's take a look at this. So a Colorado judge this week stopped public live streaming of court proceedings in the high-profile murder case against Barry Morphew after at least two YouTube accounts, violated state law that prohibits the recording and rebroadcasting of the court's videos. In a Monday order, the district chief judge, Amanda Hopkins, shut off virtual public access to the proceedings on the grounds that doing so was necessary to preserve Morphew's rights amid, quote, an unbelievable amount of local, state, national, and international attention. So that's the first thing I noticed was in the court documents in the article. It's a very in-depth article. Barry has been charged with first-degree murder in the death of Suzanne, who disappeared from their home in 2020 and was found buried in a shallow grave near Moffett in 2023. He initially was charged in 2021 with his wife's death, but the case was dropped in 2022 after extensive misconduct by prosecutors that resulted in 11th Judicial District Attorney Linda Stanley being disbarred, because that's another aspect of this whole situation. She was all over profiling evil, Chris McDonough, giving all kinds of information about the case. Hey, Jay's the cat. Good to see you. Oh, I remember that. I remember him accidentally being unmuted and talking about the members or super chats. So, Morphew was arrested and charged for a second time in June, but he's maintained his innocence since Suzanne's disappearance. Wrong way, Alex. I'm sorry, you guys. But this is... Here, I'm going to save my thoughts because I have some thoughts. But I will admit, my opinion has changed a little bit from initially finding out that this happened. So, Hopkins found that a YouTube channel called JLR Investigates posted a recording of the court's live stream of a September hearing in the Morphew case in violation of judicial rules. The recording that was posted to YouTube included an admonition that no recording was allowed. The judge wrote in the 10-page order. So during this recording, you hear them say, no recording. But I wonder, did they not hear that or something? Because I'll just go ahead and give you a little bit of my thoughts as I'm kind of working through this in my mind. Like, this is just really dumb if you did hear no recording and you do it anyway, especially with any size platform. Number one, it's disrespectful to the courts, to the victim, to their families. But number two, with any size platform, you're going to get caught. But I thought about it and I thought, did they not hear something? Because this was a public, we're here in the next paragraph, this was available to the public. And a lot of people think, and there's a lot of people who stream hearings and trials and stuff, and they probably just assume they can stream it because they do it with all of them. Now, I don't know. Let me continue and we'll talk more about it in a second. So JLR Investigates said in an unsigned statement that the account accessed and shared the same public link available to anyone. That's his quote. And that the channel operated within the bounds of public access and journalistic transparency. The statement objected to the judge's finding that the account's actions were unlawful. Now, this is an email from the account. It said, we shared a public feed. This is what he said. We shared a public feed made available by the court itself. The judge's decision to remove public access moving forward penalizes transparency and punishes the public's right to observe justice in action. JLR Investigates has about 450,000 subscribers, and the Morphew video that was viewed was seen by 17,000 people, with commenters discussing. Now, look, that's a lot of people. If you're trying to keep something secret, 17,000, with commenters discussing conspiracy theories about the case and threatening violence against the judge, attorneys, and victims, Hopkins wrote in her order. Now, that's bullshit. When is the internet going to catch up with social media? When? Now, you can't control your commenters. To an extent, you can. You need to have mods. And I think like this channel and this chat, the mods here do an excellent job at keeping bullshit out. If you have a huge chat, I know that's a lot harder. You know, there are times when during Koberger's arrest and some of that breaking, the chats here got very large and I could not keep up. I couldn't read the comments. I was missing so much. There was no way. At one, I think my biggest one had 2.1 thousand. And that was only a couple times, but it was so stressful because it's very hard to keep up. Think about you guys watching the chat as you're listening. And if you look away or do something for a moment, you're going to miss, you know, you'll miss some stuff. Now, if it's flying with 10 times the amount of people in there, you know, I don't know. I'm just trying to look at all angles. So let's continue. So she noted that other YouTube accounts also reposted the court's live streams, but did not name them. Let's just go to the next one. If I do not pause the unfettered live streaming of the hearings in this case, at best, the unlawful recordings and venomous commentary may affect both or either party's right to a fair trial by tainting the small jury pool through the prevalence of factual inaccuracies in the court of public opinion. While the impact of outside commentary is not an uncommon concern in a high-profile case, what is occurring because of the behavior of the YouTubers rises to a level of seriousness beyond that which something like a change of venue could resolve. At worst, the calls for and acts of violence against the parties and legal professionals will lead to someone being physically hurt. This is freaking embarrassing, you guys. This is embarrassing. You guys are, Michelle, you guys are the bomb. This is the best chat on the tubes. But this is embarrassing, dude. Seriously, I read that and I just think, God, man. Like, this is the stuff that makes me in public when someone asks, like, what do you do? I don't want to say I do YouTube ever. I don't know. What are you guys going to do this evening? Definitely not going home to stream on my YouTube channel. Like, I don't know. It just makes everybody look bad. Hey, Selena, it's been a minute. Even in a trial, you do not get all the facts. The prosecutors will sometimes build a timeline or story that makes it easy for everyone to follow, oftentimes leaving all kinds of important facts out. That's a great point. Remember, they only put the information in their case that will help their case, right? They build a case and they pull together all the different bits of information that they want to use, and they grab the things that will help their case. So there's probably things that get left out for sure. Hey, Alien Andy. The tags are messing me up instead of the chat names. Okay, let's continue. Colorado courts are required by state law to live stream most criminal proceedings. Now, that's very interesting, but judges are allowed to turn off the virtual public access if they find the live stream compromises anyone's safety, the defendant's right to a fair trial, or victims' rights, as long as the judge finds there is no less restrictive alternative to allow the public continue to watch remotely while preserving those rights. Now, what's going to happen now? Are the different news places going to challenge this? They can. So any less restrictive remedies would prove fruitless, he wrote. The Colorado Judicial Department has posted in several places admonitions against precisely the type of behavior which has occurred recording live streaming. Those warnings were ignored and even included in the unlawfully reproduced material. People who violate state law around recording the court's live stream can be subject to contempt of court, which can carry a fine, jail time, or both. Though Hopkins noted in her order it would be impractical to pursue contempt of court against all of the offending YouTube and true crime social accounts in Morphew's case. True crimers, get it together. Get it together, dude. Can we not get it together? Or can there be some laws or guidelines or something? Because it's one thing after another. Here we are again meeting together to talk about, yes, a true crime case that I'll be covering every detail of and have since the beginning for the last 4 or 5 years, since the beginning of my channel. And actually, Suzanne's case was the first video I ever made on TikTok. I made it on her case. But, it's just bad. It's bad news for us. It makes us look bad. I think that we need to protect the families. We need to be able to discuss this stuff, and the public should be able to watch. In my opinion, we need to know there's a reason for transparency in courts, and it's not for your nosy neighbors or whatever to gossip. It's to protect ourselves and protect people from being wrongly accused or from, just all the inappropriate things that could happen. I miss Judge Gregory Warner from Letitia's trial. He was phenomenal. There was a lot of great investigators and judges and prosecutors in that. Hey, Grandma Sherry. Okay. Sucks, but not surprising. I watched JLR live stream it. Did you? So is it true that, because according to the order, and I don't see them lying, I would probably guess that they would have evidence of this if they put it in their order. But did you notice anybody bashing and accusing in the chat, like conspiracy theories and bashing the attorneys? And I sure did. Oh my God. Wow, boss lady. Come on, man. It's not a fucking joke or a movie. It's just upsetting. Can't we act like freaking, I don't know. And that's to everybody, not to any creator, or it's just in general as people. I get it that this is what you might turn on when you get home from work and you need something to listen to or whatever. And I do it too. I really do become very invested and interested in knowing some of the details and following these cases. But damn, man, it's just upsetting. They're real people. Okay. And there's another thing. Defense attorneys. Now, Barry Morphew has had some very, very high paid, excellent attorneys. But fun fact, you see a lot of bashing of these guys, and they don't choose their clients a lot of times if they're court appointed, right? Yep. I knew when watching he was going to get us banned. And here we are. Hey, Jen K. Good to see you here. Hey, Twisty. Transparency would be refreshing. My God. Okay, let's keep going. Hopkins will allow credentialed members of the media to watch virtually on a separate platform that gives court staff control who can and can't observe. They will be required to identify themselves and meet other conditions in order to remain on the platform. Members of the public can still attend in person at the courthouse in Alamosa in southern Colorado. Hopkins said she might restore the live stream in the future for particular hearings or proceedings as circumstances allow. Now, that's good to know. Also, with the media, one thing for me is, though, I don't like listening to someone else tell us about these trials. Like, think about Delphi. Oh my God. And think of how these not so great people have built huge platforms, what we've talked about for the last week, going to these trials that nobody can go to. So you're the only one with access. You're like inside access. We've got the scoop. Come here. It makes me want to go to Colorado. My ass ain't never been on an airplane, and I definitely ain't got the time, but God, I want to see. Hey, Kathy. Oh, I'm good. I'm glad you did too. Justice for Suzanne. It's coming. Slowly but surely. I believe it is. I really do. Hopefully it will. So we have 6 minutes. I'm going to redirect to Jen. She's going to keep going through some hidden true crime stuff. I haven't got to talk to her much because I've been gone. But let's go look over here. Scott Reich, Crime Talk. He's a defense attorney in Colorado. A lot of people like him. A lot of people don't like him. I don't really care. I'm here for the information and the professional opinion, which is interesting that we hold people to like a higher, depending on their profession, we hold them to higher standards and trust them more, which is probably not smart. We've seen some professional people do some pretty gross stuff, but regardless, let's have a listen to him. And he titled this, and it's in the description because we won't be able to watch it all. They ruined it for everybody. Judge pulls plug on Barry Morphew live stream. All right, here we go.
Good day, Crime Talk aficionados. As you can tell, we're not in the Crime Talk
like I said, he's going to pull up the court documents and very close to the beginning. So
studios. We are on the road today for work, but we only have one story for you today. And it's a story that's, frankly, I'm not sure who to be upset with, the court or the YouTuber that basically made it so we won't be able to see any of the live streaming in court for the Barry Morphew case, at least for now.
No.
All right, lawyer.
So let's just go ahead and read it because, well, frankly, it kind of sums it all up. This is in the case of Barry Morphew, case 25 CR 128, order granting defendants unopposed motion to cease unmonitored live stream of court proceedings. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. And this is why I've told people this. When you stream something from Colorado, you have to get court permission to do so. And if you don't.
Pretty interesting that in Colorado, they're required to live stream. Like, I think that's a good thing, but.
Well, you can basically be held to contempt.
If you're going to stream
so here it goes.
A hearing that isn't publicly like on court TV, or even if it is, maybe it's best to get that direct permission if you're going to stream a trial or something. I don't know.
It comes before the court on the defendant's unopposed motion to cease unmonitored live stream of the court proceedings, which means the prosecution doesn't object. They're on board with it. This was filed back on September 19th. And the defendant's motion number 9 attempts to address violations of the Colorado statute, as well as the Chief Judge Directive 2302 concerning the recording of live streamed criminal proceedings. For both reasons, motion 9 is granted. Both this case and the prior one against Barry Morphew have garnered unbelievable amounts of local, state, national, and international attention.
Now, remember, I told you in the article, like we'll hear basically the same thing from that article, but still interesting to listen to. I cannot get over, Boss Lady, you being there, seeing these things that have been said happen there, and now knowing like
if
what's happening.
You enter Mr. Morphew's name into any search engine, many thousands of results return. This is perhaps not surprising considering the explosion of interest in true crime genre within the developments of podcasts and streaming television in the last decade. There are more than 20,000 true crime podcasts in existence and available for free podcast services like Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Several podcasts have already covered this case against Mr. Morphew in some capacity, but this level of interest has also increased the level of difficulty. A court such as mine has in protecting the right to a fair trial and the safety of those involved in these sorts of cases.
I would be curious to know how many people have covered this. How many podcasters have covered Idaho? And better yet, how many people have covered the hidden true crime situation? the stalking. I mean, I guess it is somewhat of a, I don't even know what to call it.
Have been 2 court dates in this matter since the grand jury returned an indictment against Mr. Morphew on June 18th of 2025. Both have been available to the public via the state's live streaming service. Following the September 2, 2025 status conference, it came to my attention that an individual with a YouTube channel called JLR Investigates posted a recording of the status conference, including the admonition that there shall be no recording made.
Now, listen closely. I'm actually going to slow it down for this part because this is the part you want to pay attention to. I had it sped up just barely, but okay.
JLR Investigates unlawful recording included comments from some of the 17,000 plus people who viewed the unlawful recording. And then we have a footnote here. It says both the content of the screenshot of the unlawful recording and the commentary by viewers was redacted in the publicly available version of Motion 9 and will not be repeated here in the public available order to prevent further harm from this behavior.
See, I heard him read this footnote earlier, but I guess it didn't click for me. That means the screenshots, again, like I said, they've got the evidence that this happened.
The unredacted version of the defendant's motion will remain available for appellate court review.
Better
Let's go
believe
back.
they got it.
Some of the commentary, including from JLR, takes issue with...
Including from JLR. Some of the commentary, including from this huge channel that we're talking about. But not only him, the comments, things like that. Here, listen. Sorry. Oh, I muted it.
The constitutional requirement that the defendant is presumed innocent until proven otherwise. Some of the commentary, including from JLR, takes issue with the constitutional requirement that the defendant is presumed innocent until proven otherwise. Propounds several conspiracy theories concerning this case and threatens violence against me, the judge, right? Attorneys for both sides and other.
Threatened violence against me.
Others included several victims. But JLR investigates.
Let me just read this last part and then we're going to go. I'm going to check a couple comments. I'm going to let you guys go. So hear this. Some of the commentary, including from JLR, takes issue with the constitutional requirement that the defendant is presumed innocent until proven otherwise, propounds several conspiracy theories concerning this case, and threatens violence against me, attorneys for both sides, and others, including several victims. But JLR Investigates is not the only YouTube channel that unlawfully recorded and then posted live stream hearings in this matter. So this video in full is in the description. If you want to go listen to an attorney in Colorado talk about this, that's the place. Now, Gavel Geeks. Hey everyone, we've watched trials for over a decade through Gavel Geeks groups. That's crazy. Over a decade. Never interfering, never causing problems. The day I saw JLR on Watts, I feared it would destroy it all. It sucks because I was, there's several aspects of why it sucks. It gives us all a bad name. These are the small parts, right, that are just frustrating. It makes it to where we can't see it, things like that. But it's like, I don't know. And we say it all the time over here and on the channels I watch, but these are real people that you're affecting. These people have been waiting a long time for justice. This kind of shit should not be happening. There shouldn't be no issues. There should be no threatening judges, defense attorneys. What the hell? Victims? Like who? The daughters? The brother? How can you even have that inside of you and your soul to do that? The daughters are standing by their dad. Well, guess what? It's their damn dad and they don't have nobody else. They've lost their mom. Get over it. I don't care. I have nothing for Barry Morphew. I hope he spends every day of the rest of his life behind those concrete walls. But his daughters have every right to believe and support him, especially until the trial when they're shown the evidence, and even then. So I don't understand who you would even have to be angry at in this. That's victims. Suzanne's brother, the man who, spent all the time organizing searches and doing interviews and going on TV and going on the news and pleading for help to find his sister. Who are you? I don't know. People are fucking crazy. But anyways, let me check a couple comments. I'm going to let you guys go because Bendy's going live right now. And I want to go over there and support her. I'm sorry I was late. We're going to keep the Monday through Thursday schedule at 8:30 Eastern and Saturdays at noon. If I can go at other times on top of that, I will. But tonight we had Fall Festival and tomorrow's Trick or Treat. So it might, for special occasions like that, it will be altered slightly. But just so you guys know, if anyone is guilty, it's Morphew. Right, exactly. Bash Barry. Bash his ass. Make fun of him. Nobody cares about that. As many times as JLR has been prosecuted and found guilty of crimes, he suddenly takes issue with innocent until proven otherwise. I'm curious of what exactly that meant. Was it common? I don't know. What was said that, I don't know. I believe we should expect those presenting true crime stories to be law-abiding people. That includes judges' orders. I'm with you. The shitty thing is we can't control people, and there's always going to be assholes. But I think if you cover true crime, you need to have a level of respect and decorum while at least you're covering it. Like at other times, whatever. But there should be, I don't know. You know, I know that they're free speech and everything, but I still think there should be some kind of guidelines that some kind of, I don't know. I don't know the answer. But anyways, I just wanted to talk to you guys about it and share my frustrations, my thoughts, and that kind of stuff. And yeah, there's no reason to scream at anyone when they are literally already going through the justice system. True. It's literally being taken care of. All right. Happy Halloween, Kathy. All right, you guys. I will see you over at Jen Lou's. Thank you for being here. Hopefully I'll see you before Sunday, but if not, I'll definitely see you Sunday. I'll be on Amber's tomorrow night. And yeah, I appreciate all you guys. Thank you. Thank you to the mods, and have a good night. Bye.